Hi, welcome to Salad Saturdays. This is a new segment on My Plate, My Life. Every Saturday for next 5 weeks, I'm going to show you how to make a well-balanced, nutritional, hearty, filling salad. Now, growing up, we've all considered salads to look like something like this. A small bowl we'd also eat our cereal in. And this would be a side salad. But today, we're not making side salads. As a matter of fact, in the spirit of Crocodile Dundee, this isn't a salad. This is a salad. All right, the first thing we want to do is get all of our ingredients chopped up and ready for our salad. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we'll start with our hard-boiled egg. If you haven't mastered the art of a hard-boiled egg yet, go ahead and look into my video library because I made a video on how to make what I call a perfect hard-boiled egg, and they turn out perfectly every single time. So feel free to visit that if you need to. So anyhow, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this cut up. As you can see, nice and yellow. Looks really good. Yolk, the egg white is intact, and there's really no green around the edge. So it turns out really well. And so we'll go ahead and put these in forks. Yep. Okay. Now with our tomato, growing up as a kid, I was always taught to cut this part off where this connects to the vine. In all reality, it's all edible, and so I've just learned to kind of just leave it in here. Now, clearly this is a pretty big tomato, which is not a problem, and honestly, because tomatoes, believe it or not, they don't carry a lot of calories, especially for their size. So you don't have to worry about getting a small one or a large one. Get one that you personally like. All right, and then of course last we'll go ahead and do our strawberries. When it comes to strawberries, growing up as a kid, I was always taught to take the leaves off. Now, in all reality, actually the leaf has a chemical in it that aids in digestion. So if I was going to eat this plain, I'd probably take the leaf off. If I was going to go ahead and dip this in chocolate, say for Valentine's, probably take the leaf off. But since I'm going to go ahead and put this in salad with other green stuff, we'll leave the leaf on. Now, when it comes to cutting these, there's a lot of things you can do with it. Personally, this is all about your preference, because half the fun of what you eat is the texture. Taste is important, but so is texture. So if you want to go ahead and cut your strawberries into forks like so, like that, go right ahead. If you want to go ahead and cut them into rings like this, you can go ahead and do that too. Or what I'm going to go ahead and do is, because in my opinion, strawberry has a nice tartness to it, so I don't really need I don't need a big piece to taste its presence. Because in my opinion, I think strawberry just goes far. It just works. And what we have here, this is, believe it or not, this is, including this is actually 1 serving size of strawberries. So you get quite a bit to eat for a serving of fresh fruit. As you can see, I'm just kind of chopping these up into forks and then cross-cutting them about 3s. And then I'll cut them this way. Now, bigger strawberries, you might need to work a little bit more. All right, so we have this all done, nice and cut up. We'll go ahead and put that back in our bowl, and this does smell very good. That's the one thing about strawberries, is that when you go buy them, you just kind of have to look at them in the plastic container, because it's kind of frowned upon if you take a sample, because of course you're reducing the size of the content. Whereas a bag of grapes, you buy those by the pound, eat one or two for quality assurance, no one's going to miss it too much. All right, so now let's go ahead and get this out of the way so we can start building our salad. Now, when it comes to salad, for this purpose, we're going to go ahead and build this on a plate. We're going to go ahead and put it on a plate because there's going to be a lot to it. And we'll go ahead and start with our salad mix. Our salad mix is a combination of spinach and lettuce. So we'll go ahead and place that on here. And yes, this is actually one hearty serving of salad. Now, next we're going to go ahead and do is, because sometimes presentation is everything, and that means colors, contrast, things like that. So what we'll do next is we're going to go with the black beans. Put some black beans on there, give it a little bit more substance. Something else that works really well with this given recipe are white beans, or like Great Northern beans. Those work well with this recipe as well. Then we're going to go ahead and we'll add our strawberries. Now, as I build this, you might say, well, gee, Mark, you can stop. You don't need to add all that. Well, perhaps you're right. But to me, this is all about whole food, eating a good serving of various fruits and vegetables. Now, you and I go out to a restaurant. Yeah, they're going to skimp on all this stuff, and they're going to still charge you $10, $12 for this salad. Here at home, you're going to get a lot for what little you paid to put this together. So now we have our strawberries. Then what we'll go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and add our cheese. We'll add our cheese. Again, it's kind of a color thing. See that? And then we'll go with our tomato. Yes, because of our strawberry, our tomato is going to kind of blend in. So what we're going to do is we're going to line the rim with it. We're going to kind of line the rim with our tomato, our cut tomato. And I mean, if you want to go ahead and just cut this into wedges, like fourths or eighths, you're welcome to do that. Obviously, the smaller the piece, it's just a little easier to eat. So now we have our rim. Then we'll go ahead and we'll add our eggs. Those make a nice presence on this. And then, of course, last, our almonds. And believe it or not, this extra crunch just gives it that little extra satisfaction. You will fill up nicely with this. And here you go. So you can see here, we've got a nice combination of colors and textures. We can go ahead and see that. And next thing we need to do is add our salad dressing. When it comes to salad dressing, if you've been watching this series, you know I'm kind of a ranch person. I like ranch. This, by chance, is great value. This is Walmart's version of their light ranch. It's not bad for what you get. It's really not bad at all. Especially since some of the other brands are just way more expensive. Anyhow, now this salad here, believe it or not, this salad here, this big plate of food only has 500 calories. Now, if you think that's a lot, just go with me. If you've been following the series, it's really not, and it works beautifully. This has 500 calories, 29 grams of fat, 27 grams of protein, and 14 grams of fiber. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you know I'm really big on fiber. We do not get enough of that in our diet. 14 grams of fiber, ladies, happens to be 56% of what you need on a daily basis. This salad is half the fiber you need. Guys, this is 37% of what we need. Okay, now this salad though it's 500 calories, is before your salad dressing. I can't calculate how much you're going to put on this salad. Me personally, I always go by 1 serving. I go by 1 serving. If you ever look at the back of these, it says 1 serving is 30 milliliters. They also cross-reference that, indicating it's also 2 tablespoons. So with this specific dressing, that's an extra 70 calories. And properly tossed in this, it works just fine. Now, I'm a real food snob per se, and I went ahead and made a recipe for my own homemade ranch dressing. And with this, you could see this is thick. This is thick, kind of like, you know, the ranch dressing you would get at those expensive restaurants, the ones that actually make their own dressing. This is like that, and it's good, and it's a whole lot lower in fat than commercial salad dressing, which seems to be vegetable oil, water, and then everything else. Whereas this, not as fattening. So if you want the recipe of this, let me know. Now, I've made this before twice. Once with ranch, not too bad, kind of gives you that creamy strawberry zest. Or you can go with Italian dressing. Now this is my own homemade recipe for Italian dressing. You could see, unlike Hidden Valley Ranch, Kraft, and all those other guys, there is no layer of water. It's basically olive oil and red wine vinegar along with spice. Now, where's the water? I didn't add any. Why? I don't need it. But I also get to use a lot less of this because the flavor is so strong, but it's good. So if you want the recipe of this as well, go ahead and let me know. Either way, if you're going to go with a commercial salad dressing where you're going to use 2 tablespoons in order to get their serving size, 2 tablespoons happens to be 2 of these or 1 of these. This here happens to be 1/8 of a cup. 1/8 of a cup by volume happens to be 2 tablespoons. Or you can go with 2 of these. Either way, as you can see, it may not be a lot of dressing, but properly tossed, it just works. Now, outside of this video, when I make this in this. I just sit down to a big bowl of food. And so I would dump all this into here, put my salad dressing in it, and then toss it. You know, toss it with a couple forks, spoons, whatever you want to do, until it's properly blended. And then I'll just sit there and eat out of this. So that's one way of making certain it's properly tossed. Because if you drizzle this across the top, well, some bites you can have more salad dressing than others. We all know this. So that's definitely an option. So if you like today's recipe, the first 10 people that subscribe to the My Plate, My Life newsletter will get a free copy of today's recipe. You can go ahead and subscribe to the newsletter at myplatemylife.com. And once you do, you'll also get a free starter guide I've put together that gives you a lot of great, valuable information about how many calories you should be eating and how to proportion out those calories so that you eat a more balanced diet and you do feel satisfied. And there's even another calculator on there that tells you that, or it helps you realize if you want to lose weight, how many calories you should be eating instead. But check all that out. You'll get that after you subscribe to the My Plate, My Life newsletter. Once you do that, go be certain to comment below here indicating that you've signed up for the newsletter so that I can cross-reference your comment below with your subscription. Because I'm getting new subscriptions all the time and I don't always necessarily know who and where these necessary subscriptions came from. So be certain to do that. Now, if by chance you did not make one of the first 10 people this week to qualify for this free recipe, be certain to subscribe down below. Once you do that, then when I do this, I'll be doing this every Saturday for the next month. Once I post the next video, you'll get notice of that. Be certain to go ahead and watch that video and be one of the top 10 for next week's salad video. So you're welcome to do that as well. And once again, this is Mark with My Plate, My Life. I hope you've enjoyed this strawberry almond salad. A delicious way to go. And this is Mark with My Plate, Life. This is Mark with My Plate, My Life. What's on your plate?